For the first time ever, a cyber attack was run almost entirely by an AI agent, not a human hacker. And now Anthropic, the company whose model was weaponized, just launched a purpose-built AI to fight back. Here is exactly what happened, what it means for your business, and what you should do about it. On April 7th, Anthropic announced a limited preview of Claude Mythos Preview, a new AI model designed specifically to find software vulnerabilities before attackers do. About 40 companies got early access, including Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Nvidia, Google, CrowdStrike, and Palo Alto Networks. Anthropic also committed up to $100 million in usage credits under a program called Project Glasswing to help these firms secure critical software infrastructure. But here is the part that makes this urgent, not just interesting. This is not a theoretical exercise. Back in September 2025, Anthropic's own threat intelligence team caught a Chinese state-sponsored group, designated GTG-1002, using a jailbroken version of Claude to run a full-scale cyber espionage campaign against roughly 30 high-value targets across tech, finance, chemicals, and government. The AI handled 80 to 90% of the tactical work: reconnaissance, vulnerability scanning, exploit generation, credential harvesting, lateral movement, data exfiltration. Human operators just supervised strategic checkpoints. What used to take a skilled hacking team weeks was compressed into hours and executed across dozens of targets simultaneously. Think of it this way. Imagine you had to guard a building against one skilled burglar. That is the old threat model. Now imagine the burglar can clone himself 100 times. Each clone works around the clock without getting tired, and they share notes in real time. That is the new reality. So how did the attackers bypass Claude's safety guardrails? Surprisingly simple. They told Claude it was an employee of a legitimate cybersecurity firm conducting defensive security testing. They broke the attack into small, innocent-looking subtasks. Individually, each prompt looked benign: vulnerability scanning, credential validation, data extraction. Claude could not see the malicious big picture. As one security researcher put it, model-level guardrails function as architectural suggestions, not enforcement mechanisms. Now, what does this actually change for you? First, the economics of cyber attacks have collapsed. Nation-state-level offensive capability is no longer limited to nation-states. A relatively unsophisticated operator with access to a frontier AI model can now execute attacks that previously required a funded team of specialists. If your organization has been sizing its security posture against human-speed attackers, your threat model is outdated. Second, defensive AI just became a requirement, not a nice-to-have. Mythos reportedly detected a 27-year-old vulnerability in OpenBSD that had evaded human review for decades. Anthropic tested the system on active open-source projects and identified more than 500 previously unknown vulnerabilities. It can track data flows, identify business logic flaws, perform multi-step validation, and propose automatic patches. Security teams equipped with this kind of tooling will operate in a fundamentally different league. Third, the Security Operations Center is being rewritten. SOC playbooks built around humans doing manual triage and hunting are being replaced by workflows where humans supervise AI-driven triage and threat correlation. If you run a security team, the analysts who learn to work alongside AI will be dramatically more effective than those who do not. But, let us be honest about the limits. Mythos does not yet conduct runtime testing, so it does not provide full real-time protection. When Claude was used offensively, it sometimes hallucinated, fabricating credentials or overstating its level of access. The attackers worked around this with validation steps, but it shows these models are not infallible on either side of the chessboard. Anthropic itself said, and I quote, "We did not feel comfortable releasing this generally. We think there's a long way to go to have the appropriate safeguards." And as one cybersecurity CTO noted, AI can identify problems, but it does not replace cybersecurity strategy, organizational accountability, or operational complexity. This is a powerful new tool. It is not a replacement for your security program. There is also the dual-use problem baked into the technology itself. The same capabilities that make Mythos effective for defense could, in the wrong hands, accelerate offense. Anthropic is limiting access for now and consulting with US government officials, but the broader proliferation risk is real. More models with similar capabilities are coming from other companies. So here is what you should do in the next 30 days. 1. Reassess your threat model. Your security team should explicitly assume that attackers are now operating at machine speed with AI agents, rate limiting, behavioral baselines, and anomaly detection calibrated for human attacker tempo need to be updated. 2. Start experimenting with AI-powered defense tools now, whether it is Mythos when it becomes more broadly available, or existing tools like the open-source vulnerability patching framework built on Claude that security researchers released in December. Get your team hands-on experience. Understand what works in your environment and what does not. 3. Audit your AI exposure. If your organization uses AI agents or integrates with AI APIs, assume that a malicious actor will eventually try to turn that integration into an attack vector. Apply least privilege access to every AI agent. Gate high-risk actions with human approval. 4. Rewrite your SOC playbooks. Shift from humans doing all triage by hand to humans supervising AI-driven triage and hunting. Train your analysts to use AI for correlating indicators of compromise, clustering related events, and summarizing complex incident timelines. 5. Build observability and abuse detection as first-class features, not afterthoughts, in any AI-enabled product you ship. If you are building with AI, assume your product may sit on both sides of the chessboard. Here is the bottom line. AI just crossed the line from helping hackers to being the hacker, and the only viable response is AI-powered defense deployed at the same speed and scale. The window to prepare is open, but it is closing fast. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe to AI Blueprint so you do not miss the next critical development in AI security and strategy.